Right now, you are moving. Even if you are sitting still, reading this, doing absolutely nothing, you are moving at incredible speed. The ground beneath you, your home, your city, the oceans, the clouds, everything is spinning with Earth right now. We do not feel it because the motion is constant. But imagine something impossible. No warning, no countdown, no sound from the sky, and then Earth stops spinning. Not slows down, not over millions of years. Stops. In an instant. What would happen next would be one of the greatest disasters imaginable. Earth completes one rotation roughly every 24 hours. That spin creates the cycle of day and night. It helps shape winds and weather. It influences the movement of oceans. It gives our world the rhythm every living thing evolved under. At the equator, the surface of Earth moves at about 1,670 kilometers per hour. Even away from the equator, the speed is enormous. We feel none of it because everything around us is moving together. But if the planet suddenly stopped, you would not stop with it. This is the first horror of the scenario. The land stops. The atmosphere, oceans, cars, buildings, and people keep moving. Because motion does not disappear just because the ground does. Inertia would carry everything eastward at tremendous speed. To a person on the surface, it would feel like the world itself had thrown everything sideways. Cities would be ripped apart. Cars would tumble like toys. Trees would snap. Power lines would tear free. Glass towers would fail under forces they were never built to resist. Anything not deeply anchored would become debris, and even many anchored things would not survive. Now imagine the winds. Earth's atmosphere is already moving with the spinning planet. If the solid ground stopped suddenly, air would continue racing across the surface. The result could be global winds faster than the most violent hurricanes ever recorded. Walls of air carrying dust, metal, glass, and rubble. Entire neighborhoods could be sandblasted. Forests flattened. Aircraft would be nearly helpless. For many regions, the sky itself would become a weapon. Then come the oceans. Water has momentum too. If Earth stopped, seas would continue surging across continents. Mega tsunamis could rise hundreds of meters in some areas, depending on geography and momentum. Coastlines would be erased, ports destroyed, islands overwhelmed. Low-lying cities buried under moving water. And because the oceans cover most of Earth, the damage would reach far beyond beaches. This would be a planetary flood, driven not by rain, but by motion. But the disaster does not end after the first minutes. Earth's rotation also shapes the planet in quieter ways. Because of spinning, Earth is slightly wider around the equator and flatter at the poles. If rotation stopped permanently, gravity would begin reshaping the oceans. Water would gradually migrate toward the poles, where it would settle more easily. That could leave vast equatorial regions drier, exposing seafloor in some places, while polar regions gain massive new oceans. The maps of the world would change, not politically, physically. Now consider day and night. If Earth stopped spinning but still orbited the Sun, one day would no longer last 24 hours. Instead, daylight and darkness could each last for months, depending on the exact scenario. One side of Earth would face prolonged sunlight. The other would endure prolonged darkness. The sunlit side could experience brutal heating, drought, and ecosystem collapse. The dark side could plunge into freezing conditions. Agriculture would fail in many places. Animals and plants evolved for daily cycles would face impossible stress. Human civilization depends on predictable seasons and regular light. Break that rhythm, and food systems begin to fail. There is another invisible consequence: Earth's magnetic field. The magnetic field helps shield us from harmful charged particles from the sun and space. Its deepest cause is tied to complex motion inside Earth's core, not simply surface spinning, but planetary rotation is part of the larger system that influences internal dynamics. If long-term changes disrupted that protective shield, more radiation could reach the surface, and satellites could become more vulnerable. Even if not immediate, the long future of a non-spinning Earth could be harsher than the first disaster. Now let's ask the practical question. Could Earth really stop spinning suddenly? No. There is no known natural process that would abruptly halt a planet of this size, like slamming brakes on a car. The energy involved is beyond anything humanity can produce. This is a thought experiment. But thought experiments matter because they reveal what reality is quietly doing for us every day. We rarely appreciate stable rotation. You do not wake up thankful that sunrise arrived on schedule. You do not celebrate that the winds remained survivable.
You do not think about the oceans staying where coastlines expect them to be. But civilization is built on constants. A 24-hour day, reliable sunrise, manageable weather patterns, predictable motion. These seem ordinary only because they have never failed us. Somewhere in the universe, there may be planets tidally locked to their stars, one side always facing daylight, the other trapped in night. Some worlds may spin too fast, with violent storms, others may barely spin at all. Earth is not just a rock with life on it. It is a finely balanced system where multiple forces happen to cooperate, and we live inside that balance so comfortably that we mistake it for guaranteed. So what if Earth stopped spinning? At first, supersonic chaos, global winds, shattering cities, moving oceans, a world thrown sideways. Afterward, new coastlines, broken climate patterns, long days and longer nights, a planet still alive but transformed, and humanity would learn a humbling truth. The world does not need to explode to become unrecognizable. Sometimes all it takes is for one silent motion to stop. Final line, Earth's spin feels invisible only because it never pauses, but every second of your life depends on it.